Hello, everybody. This is MJ, and welcome to our Friday training broadcast. I hope you've had a phenomenal week and that you are as excited as I am about this topic that we're going to be talking about today, because this is one that hits a lot of new hard business owners in general, boutique owners like you want to become specifically, and that is playing small in your business. And we're going to talk today about what the real cost is of playing small in your business. So first, we're going to talk about what's playing small, Coach MJ. Glad you asked. Playing small is when you do less than what you could do, or even what you think you should do, so that you are not risking that much. And so that there is not as much of a loss if things don't work out. And I get the temptation, right? When you start a business, it costs a lot of time. It costs a lot of energy, and it costs a lot of money. And of all those things that I just listed, the time that it takes to start a business and to get it to the level you want it to be is the most valuable. You always can recreate or re-earn or remake more money. So when you start to think about what you are really risking when you become an entrepreneur, I want you to start thinking in terms of time being much more valuable than money. A lot of times we look at the money and we're like, oh, I did a broadcast a couple days ago about how $10,000 is an amount that a lot of people get all nervous and jittery about, but it's really not a lot of money. Money can always be remade. Your time is what's most valuable. However, when you grow your business small, or rather when you stop your business from growing by playing small, it's time that you are spending the most of, because you're wasting time, and that's the most valuable resource. But a lot of times we can't see that in the beginning when we're looking at this big mammoth dream that we have. We want to become a millionaire, or we want to just be able to leave our job and earn a six-figure salary or income through our business. And it seems like such a big goal. And it's like, what if I can't do it? What if I fail? What if I don't make the money I need to? What if I spend this money? I brought a sweat rag today because you guys always get me hyped and I start sweating, right? So I'm ready for you today. What if I can't do it? I want to play it small. Let me not invest as much. Let me, kind of do a little and see what happens. And then over time, it'll get bigger. You're playing small in your business. And it's not even just about spending money. A lot of times you're playing it small by not putting a lot of time into it. A lot of times you're playing it small by not putting the effort into it. But anyway, we're going to talk today about all of the real costs of playing small in your business and what it can harm you. Because while it might seem like a smart strategy to not do too much too fast, a lot of times if you try to go at it too slow, you never get there. Business is not one of those things that you can do it fast or you can drag it out and get the same place. And we're going to talk about why that is. One thing, one of the real reasons, or one of the things that's costing you by playing small in your business, in your boutique, is because you don't have enough momentum. What do I mean by momentum? Momentum can have a lot of different meanings: boosting somebody up, encouraging them, but it's also that pace, that energy that you're putting forward in your business. And kind of like, how when you have something that's going, a car, for example, and then you can take your foot off the gas a little bit, the car keeps going. That's because the car has momentum. And it's the same way in your business. You can get your business started, but once you get going, you don't have to put in that initial energy in the same way as you're further down the road, because your business has momentum. But when you start too small, that's like barely tapping the gas, like just tapping and taking your foot off of it. Or, and you don't get that momentum, your car will stop when you take your foot off the gas, when you're not giving it enough gas to begin with. The same is that way in your business. If you only put a teensy weensy bit of effort in because you're scared, I don't want to spend, $10,000 or $20,000. I don't want to take out any loans. I don't want to get in debt for my business. Meanwhile, you're already in debt because of having a job, but that's a different situation. But I don't want to get in debt, so I'm just going to do a little $100 on my business this month. I'm just going to Google some stuff and some YouTube ads. I'm going to spend $200 on a course, and that's all I'm going to do. And that's going to get me where I want to. No, you're not going to have enough momentum when you play it small like that, you're never going to get over those humps, because with business, the ones that really take off, they started out with something and they built on it. So when that big opportunity came, there was something for the opportunity to grab hold of and pull them forward, because they already had some momentum in their business. So one of the real costs of playing small is that you won't have enough momentum to get pulled into that cyclone of opportunity where your business is really going to take off. You have to have momentum. And here's what is also true. When you don't have momentum, any bumps along the way can slow you down even more than if you were going fast. I'm going to use the car analogy again. Think about if your car is only going, 5 miles per hour, and you're on a flat surface, and then you run up upon a rock that's maybe as big as a fist. If it gets right up under your tire, a couple of those, that can actually slow you down, if not stop you, if you're only going a couple miles per hour. However, if you're going 60 miles an hour, you might not even feel it if you hit a rock like that. You might feel it, but it's going to knock it off to the side, and you're going to keep moving forward. That's because, again, your car has momentum, so those bumps in the road will not stop you. That's what happens in your business. When you have momentum, when you're not, but you're rather leaning in, getting the knowledge, spending the money, investing in the professional guidance that you need, you're going to have momentum, because you're not going to be stopped by every little challenge. The challenges never go away. Those rocks in the road, those boulders, they're coming. No matter how good you set your business up, they are coming. However, they have the ability to hold you back a little bit or not at all, or they have the ability to stop you altogether, depending on how much momentum. So the first cost of playing small in your business is not having enough momentum. The next one is a word that I love a lot. The word is moxie. And moxie is like that courage, that determination. It's also an energy. It's that grit. That's that tenacity. You always say, boy, that girl sure got some moxie. That's guts. If I had to abbreviate it with a short definition, it's having the guts to do it. And you won't have enough of that if you play small, because it's kind of like, think about the word faith. If you, for those who are my praying people, my believers, if you ask for faith, if you say, God, give me more faith, what's going to happen? You're going to be sent trials that are going to test your faith. It is impossible to build faith without testing things that can test your faith, which are usually trials, right? Good times do not test faith. Difficult times do. The same thing is true in your business as far as building moxie, which you need to build a business. If you're not risking that much, build that courage, that determination, because the only way to build courage is to have something that is fearful, right? You have to have something that you fear to know if you're courageous. If there's nothing going wrong and there's no challenges, how can you say you're brave? What are you faced with? Whenever we say somebody's brave or courageous or they're determined, that's because they have obstacles. That's because they have challenges and they're overcoming them. But if you are not placing yourself in a position to have challenges, to have things that you got to be determined to overcome, you're not going to build that muscle. And again, that's what's going to hurt you. Playing small when you don't feel like you're risking a lot, and that seems to you like a good place to be in. I'm not taking a lot of risk. The people that always, it interests me, and it's actually disturbing to me because I know it's hurting them. They think it's wise to play small. I'm going to wait to get professional help when I feel comfortable with it, when I make some money. Honey, you can't get to that point because you're already struggling with what I'm going to talk about next, and our next cost of playing small. But if you keep playing small, you're never going to get comfortable. And actually, entrepreneurship is not a place where you should be looking for comfort. Even the wealthiest of entrepreneurs, they're not comfortable spending $1 million on a deal. They don't want to lose that money, but they face the fear and they do it anyway, right? But you can't get courage. That's the moxie. You can't get more determined. You can't build your muscle of grit and tenacity when there's nothing facing you that scares you, right? And so the reason why playing small in your business is going to be because you won't have enough moxie. And going along with that, we've talked a lot about money, right? And so a lot of times people think that money's the biggest thing on the business because that's what you can see. That's what you know how much you can earn. I make $20 an hour, and that means in a 40-hour week, I make $800 a week. I make a little over $40,000 a year. And so when you hear $10,000, $20,000, you're thinking in terms of job money. It takes me half a year to earn that. I work for myself, but rather treat it like a business where you you have base and professional support, right? But let's look at money. Let's several years to 10 years, right? That means if you start your business right now, or if you have already started, the chances of you still being in business 10 years from now, good odds. Most of those people, a lot of those people is because their businesses are undercapitalized. Here's what's true. You can have the best idea in the world. You can have a product, a service that people are going to go wild about. You can be selling the greatest stuff in your boutique. You can have clothes. You can have body products, hair products, facial products. You can be selling wigs. You can be selling art. Anything you want to in your shop or boutique. It's still going to take the amount of time that it's going to take for you to be able to turn a profit and get out of the red, so to speak, where most small can survive during that learning curve and that growth curve to get to that profitability phase. Everybody's not going to have a 90-minute and $1 million in 90 minutes launch like the Crayola case lady that I love to talk, the crayon case lady that I love to talk about. You're not always going to be guaranteed to have that. Most people don't, and that's okay. That's kind of like an outlier. That's kind of like on a scale of 1 to 10 in a business, that's like 50 or 100, right? You can look towards being a 9 or a 10 in your business and still be great. But you have to have money to keep the lights on until then. You cannot be expecting that out of every dollar that customers pay you for those first several months or even a year, that you're going to be paying bills with that. Not only the business's bills, but your personal bills. You will never be able to grow or scale if all the money you have is what's in the business that you're earning. You have to have money saved up. You have to take money out of your 401k. You have to get friends and family to invest in you in all these other ways. You're going to have to get credit. And so for those of you who are looking for a free payday to the $1 million or a free path to the $1 million payday, all I have to say is you're in the wrong game if you're looking for something for nothing. Everybody out here who nobody gave them anything, or if someone did give them something, it was in connection with or to complement what those individuals, those entrepreneurs were giving to themselves. If you are not willing to risk your money on your business, when I say your money, I don't just mean the money in your salary, because you probably don't have that much left over after you pay your bills. I'm talking about that little nest egg you're saving up for that's not going to take you through retirement. You need to invest that in your business so that you do have something substantive for retirement. A little 401k or whatever that is. If you're not willing to take some of that and invest it in your business, why would a bank or an investor want to invest in you when they can smell the resistance to investing in yourself all over you? I talk about this a lot because this is the biggest barrier. We as Black women often want something for nothing. We say we'll work hard. A lot of us do, but a lot of times we're not willing to invest. If you are not willing to borrow money from a bank or from someone, then how serious can you really be about becoming a millionaire? I talked to a woman recently. She said she gets Nike in the next, I think it was 7 or 8, 9 years. I don't remember. But she didn't even want to invest in professional help to be able to do it. And it probably still was going to be a lofty dream because money does not always grow that fast. Sometimes it does. It doesn't always. And with her model, it wasn't necessarily going to do that. She had these unrealistic dreams, but her action was to stay small, right? So if you are not willing to invest in yourself and get the money that you have access to, go out there and hustle and get it, then how serious can you be? Businesses that are undercapitalized, that don't have enough money, that they are a result of someone playing small in their business. The rest of the story is to get to that big payday. Most of the time, you're going to have to invest in paid marketing. People love to talk about word of mouth, but guess what? These big businesses out here, they do not get to the multi-million. So that's why they're big. No, we still see Coca-Cola commercials, don't we? Nod your head. We still see McDonald's commercials, don't we? Nod your head. And these are massive companies. Walmart, biggest retailer in the world, are one of them. And Amazon, they all advertise. So what makes you think with a small business that with no brand awareness, you're not a household name, nobody knows who you are, that you can somehow get all your friends and family to promote you so you get to a bigger level when the big dogs still spend big money on advertising. Think about the commercials at Super Bowl. These companies are paying $1 million or more on advertising. They are paying money. Why? Because they know all the eyes that are going to be on the screen potentially could come and buy their product or service, right? The same is true of you. And if you don't have enough money because you're playing small, because you want to keep your $10,000, $15,000 in your savings account, your little $40,000 in your retirement account, and not invest that in your business, but you think other people are going to do it, or you're going to somehow be able to game the system and figure out what other millionaires that are already worked it haven't done. That is just so unrealistic. And that's not the mindset of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is willing to put their money where their mouth is. And if you are truly an entrepreneur at heart, you will do that. If you are not willing to invest in yourself financially and you're playing small in your business, it's going to be really hard, if not impossible. I'm really going to say impossible to get to the level of these businesses that you emulate. Even if you, let's say you don't want to be a millionaire, but you want to make $200,000 a year so you're not always robbing Peter to pay Paul in your personal life. That's still going to take some more than just you wishing and hoping and crossing your fingers, hoping that your friends and family tell everybody all the time about your business. It's not realistic. But this is one of the real costs of playing small in your business. You won't have enough money tracked into fear instead of expanding into the possibilities. Okay. Now, playing small in your business also takes on the form of, okay, let's talk about jobs. I used to work in corporate America, worked in corporate America 20 plus years. And I always say the only thing I miss about corporate America, and really it's not even that I miss it in the present tense, but only thing that I would say as an entrepreneur now, looking back at corporate America, the only thing that's of value was my community. Mimic a phrase that my former employer used to use. Your community, your support important as an entrepreneur, right? They are big for your coworker that when your boss does something stupid, you can go by their cubicle or you can catch them in the break room, or maybe you're outside during lunch and you can say, you know what that idiot did. Or two people that always support you and acknowledge you and affirm you when you do well at work. Not having that as an entrepreneur is a devastating adjustment unless you know how to shift. If you get show you how to create that community so that you don't lack that morale. But the thing is, when you play small in your business and shift into entrepreneurship and create that new community of morale boosting that you have in your job. See, a lot of people think your coworkers get on your nerves. I can't wait to get free of them and work for myself. But guess what? Entrepreneurship is an extremely lonely journey, especially if you don't know how to replace that community with one in an entrepreneurial space. The people that are still working jobs, your family, your friends, your former, they can't even hate on you. Sometimes it happens, or at the very least, they don't know how to support you. So you need to be able to recreate. You need to recreate that support network, that morale, when you become an entrepreneur. If you play small in your business, you won't even know how to create that new community, and you won't have enough morale to take you through the difficult times in your business. Because as much as you complain about your job, there are some benefits to having somebody else creating the work. Somebody else paying you, telling you what to do, and every 2 weeks a check shows up in your bank and you can leave it all behind when you leave the office. You can't do that as an entrepreneur because you are the person creating the work. You are the one making it happen. And you need to have a way to keep your morale up. And you need a community. You need a support group, interdependence, even as an entrepreneur. One of my professional mentors says that the age that we are living in now is not the industrial age. It's not the age of technology, definitely not agriculture, some of those other ages in the past. Now it is about powerful partnerships. It is about who can you align with. Who can you be? Island. You might know that song. You might just know the lyrics. It's true. You have to be interdependent with other entrepreneurs working together to build each other up. And without that, you will not have enough morale. And that's what it's going to cost you in your business. You're going to give up, or you're going to slow yourself down. You're going to have a pop of success, and then it's going to be a lag. And then another pop of success, and then you're going to lag. Pop of success, lag. And that back and forth like that. Meanwhile, the opportunities are passing you by. The customers are coming and going because you don't know how to build yourself up. You don't have anybody kind of boosting you up and supporting you. That interdependence, that morale. If you notice, all of these costs that we're talking about today, momentum, moxie, money, morale, all of them begin with M because I'm Coach MJ. But they all are so important because these are the things that people don't know, especially if you've never been an entrepreneur. You don't realize how much you depend on your coworkers. Even if y'all aren't super close, having them there makes a difference. As Mississippi Mass Choir used to sing, having them around makes a difference, and you need to replace them. I have had some moments in my business that were soul crushing. I've had some moments in my business that were discouraging. I've had some moments in my business that were, I didn't know how I was going to navigate. But I have that community, people I can call, people I can connect with and interface with to pull me back from the ledge of jumping off, from giving up. Okay? You need that too. So if you play small in your business, though, you won't even know you need that. That you're just like, oh, I'm only making a few $100s a month. I don't need that. All I need to do is quit my job. I'm sick of my boss. I'm sick of my coworkers. I can do this on my own. Especially if you're working from home and you don't have face-to-face interaction with your customers and with other people on your team, or your partners, your vendors, your merchants, whoever the people are that help you do business. If you don't have any face-to-face with them, or you don't have any connection with them on an interpersonal level, you're going to suffer, and it's going to hold you back. Small in your business, ma'am, in your boutique, you will not have enough mastery to make it through that. Remember, I talked about that learning and growth curve a little while ago. What am I talking about? Mastery, the skills, the knowledge, the techniques to succeed in business. See, owning a boutique is about so much more than finding some vendor on on the internet and starting an e-commerce site and just hoping that the sales come in. I can't tell you how many people I talk to on a regular basis who that's what they did. They're like, yeah, I got a website. Yeah, I've got a bunch of inventory. And they kind of look over at the box of inventory, it's $5,000 worth of inventory sitting in a closet because they have no idea how to sell it. All they did was get a website. I asked them, how much did you sell? Well, I didn't really sell anything the last couple of months. Oh, I sold $300 or $400. Can you pay your bills with $300 or $400? No. Can you quit your job with $300 or $400? No. You need to have mastery so that you can do the things that it takes to survive in a business. And not only survive, because who wants to be scraping by in a business that's just basically a job where you're still broke? No, you want to thrive in your business, right? You want prosperity. You want profitability. But if you don't have the mastery of how to operate a business, if you don't have the mastery of how to even launch a business so you have something to operate, you're not going to get there. There are skill sets. And people always say, well, why don't you tell us what it is? If it was that easy to just tell somebody in a 20-minute video how to start a business, everybody will be successful. I guarantee it. It's not that cut and dry. It's not easy. It can be simplified, but it's not so simple that you can just spout it out because every business is different. Every business owner is coming from a different starting point. You have different life experiences and of understanding of business and of finance and of the different understanding of that if they have it at all. And it's impossible to have a one-size-fits-all approach for every business. It would be malpractice for me to come on here and say, if you do these 10 things, you're guaranteed to be a success. Not in the specifics, down in the weeds of your business. There are some principles, some of which we're talking about today. And you can see other videos that I do on a regular basis about kind of those more general things that apply to everybody. But when you get down into the weeds, every business is different. And that's why you need guidance and you need someone walking you through hand to hand, supporting you through your journey, because your journey is going to be quite unique. And you need somebody who's looking at your business specifically, who can say, with your specific set of circumstances, your product, your business knowledge, your market, your target customers, this is what you need to do. And that's not something that we can just do in 20 minutes. Now, if you watch all my content, you get a little bit further there, but we really need to have our eyes directly on your business. But when it comes to mastery, you definitely need to go beyond, buy some inventory, get a website. And if that sounds like the approach you've been using, that should be a clue to you right now that that's why you're not succeeding at the level you want to succeed at. Because there's more to understanding how to get customers, get them interested in what you're doing, get their money out of their pockets and into your bank, and get your products off of your shelves and into their homes and into their possession. There's a lot to it. Again, think about it. The big companies, think about all they go through to get you to buy from them. And I know you might think, I don't want to be like Nike. I'm not trying to be as big as Amazon. First of all, why would you sell yourself short? But okay, let's say you don't. Business principles are business principles. Regardless of what your end game is or what size you want your company to be, you can't circumvent what they're doing. And if you don't have 30 years to put, I think it's how long Amazon, well, maybe not quite 30 years, but Bezos and the Amazon founder has put into his business. Because you're trying to leave your job and go out on your own. And again, he didn't get this big overnight, but I guarantee the principles he's using right now to keep himself big, he was doing in the beginning. And if he wasn't, he probably had to learn it through trial and error if he didn't have a mentor pouring into him. And it cost him time. It cost him money, a lot of trial and error, a lot of doing it himself, bumping his head against the wall and trying again. You don't have that kind of time. Ma'am, your dreams and goals are to create enough time in your life so you can spend time with your kids before they grow up. So if they are in elementary school, or God forbid, they've already gone into high school or even middle school, you don't have time to spend 20-something years like Jeff Bezos or these other people trying to figure it out. When the path has already been outlined for you, the principles are there, you just need to step into them. But you can't circumvent them. You can't think that you're going to somehow have success in your retail boutique but not do everything that everybody else that has success in a retail has done. And I really want you to understand that and really embrace that. Take that into your heart. There's more to the story. That's why these people write books. That's why these people do interviews and they talk about the success principles. And most of them have nothing to do with buying inventory and getting a website and crossing your fingers, or putting random stuff here and there and just hoping that something, I call that, what do I call it? Hope hustling, or luck hustling is what I call it, where you just cross your fingers and just do all kinds of stuff and just hope that something hits. That's not what these people are doing. They're not random like that. It might look like they're random, but I promise you, if you talk to 20 of the wealthiest people in the retail space or in any business space, I guarantee you would see some common threads throughout what they're doing. Of course, you don't have access to them one-on-one, but we can still learn from them and not think that I ain't got to do all that because I don't want to be a multi-billionaire or multi-millionaire. Guess what? You still need to do the same thing they're doing. And if you play small, you're not going to have enough mastery to get through those lean times and into what it is that you want for yourself and your family and your lifestyle. And then the last cost of playing small in your business is that you won't have enough mindfulness. Now, what I'm talking about when I say mindfulness is that part of you that is that internal self-talk that helps you to overcome fear, that it helps you to stop being so averse to risk and those voices of self-doubt that creep in. That's actually that the way you handle your mindfulness, that's actually your superpower, or that's going to be the biggest place where your soul is crushed, is right there in what goes on in here. All that fear. Every time I talk to somebody, I say, what's your biggest obstacle? They say fear and self-doubt, fear of failure. And the fact that they're focusing on failure and their fear of it is why they are manifesting that very failure in their lives. But they don't know how to control their mind in such a way so that they can, again, get that moxie we talked about to build that momentum. All this stuff ties together. None of this stuff is freestanding. None of this stuff is, I'll just do this one thing and I'll be fine. All these things that we're talking about today, you need to be implementing them in your business so that your boutique or shop can take off and do what you want it to do. And most people overlook this. Hating your job and needing more money is not enough motivation, because if it were, more people would have businesses, because most people have jobs that don't pay them enough. And to the people that have enough, the percentages get real small. You get into the 10%, then you're talking 5% as the income levels go up, and you get into the 1%. There's a reason for that. And it's not because the people who've gotten there are just greedy and holding you back. This is what's holding you back. The battleground that you need to overcome is the mind. Your mindfulness is where you are either succeeding or failing, but you won't have enough mindfulness in your business if you're playing small. Why? Because again, when you think, oh, all I need to do is I'm going to sell t-shirts, I'm just going to throw them out on this website and hope for the best. I don't need, if you're just doing a hobby business, you don't really need to win on the battleground of your mind. But if all you want to do is have a hobby business, first of all, you wouldn't be watching this video, because people that are doing hobby businesses, they're still going to keep their jobs, right? No, if you want a job or a business that's going to replace your job and allow you to work your boutique from the beaches of the world, somebody else can be doing the work at that point. You're making phone calls from the beach. If you want to get there, you can't get there treating your business like a hobby, which means you have to become, in your mind, the entrepreneur that you say that you want to be. Instead of saying, I will become that, you have to be it right now. And the way you can become an entrepreneur, even before you have launched your business or launched your boutique, is you have to embrace that in your mind and act as every entrepreneur acts, even while you are manifesting and doing the thing that you want to have. You have to become that entrepreneur right now. And that starts in your mind. Anything that you can imagine, you can create. But again, when you're playing small, most people don't even look at this part, because they think my sheer desire to not work for anybody else is all it's going to take. Meanwhile, we're still always talking about a fear of failure, self-doubt, risk aversion. I don't want to risk anything. What if I lose my money? Man, what if you don't? What if you succeed? And worst off, and I'm going to throw this in and we're going to wrap up. When people talk about a fear of failure, but then you flip around and say, okay, do you feel like you're successful now? Uh-oh, my laptop's about to die. Do you feel like you're succeeding right now when you're working for somebody else? Well, no. Well, are you more afraid of the failure that comes with staying in a job when you know you are meant for more? And that's usually where it's a turnaround. But they only get to that place because someone else is speaking into them the mindfulness that you need to have to succeed as an entrepreneur. Up to that point, you weren't more worried about the money or what if people don't come. What if you get stuck in your job? That should be the thing you're afraid of. And that's where you are right now if you don't do something different. And what you need to do differently starts inside here with your mindfulness. So we've talked today about the real cost of playing small in your business, your moxie, your momentum, your morale, the money, the mastery. When you play small, you won't have enough of any of that stuff to get to the level where you want to go. But if you've been listening today and you're like, MJ, dude, I need help. I hear what you're saying, but I have no idea how to turn that corner and become the person you've been describing, the person who has more than enough of the momentum, more than enough of the mastery, more than enough of that moxie, more than enough of the morale, more than enough of the mindfulness and the money that you need to operate your business to the 6 or 7 figure level, and you don't know how to get to there. I got good news for you. We need to talk. Got some free spots open on my calendar in the next couple of business days. So next week, MelanieHunter.com/chat. It's a free call. Let's have a consultation, because if you don't know how to do this stuff, you're not going to be able to figure it out on your own any more than you can figure out your college degree or even your high school diploma on your own. You had teachers, you had tutors, you had your parents, you had these other people who had been before you, maybe upperclassmen, that helped you on your journey. The same is true, even more so, of a business. And that's why we need to have a conversation. You can't wing a college degree and you can't wing it in a business. Not if you want to get your freedom in the next year or two. Not if you want to be there for your kids. Not if you want to create a legacy. Not if you want to be able to pay for college, keep your parents out of a nursing home, go to Dubai and not be broke when you get there, or only be able to go on one vacation a year. But if that's your dream, you don't have time to nickel and dime your business and play small. You need to lean into it, and you need to lean into it sooner than later so you can get to the level you want to get at. It's not going to happen by itself. Wishing ain't going to get it. Crossing your fingers ain't going to get it. Talking to MJ is going to put you on the path, because during that call that you're going to book at melaniehunter.com/chat, we're going to talk about what's not working. No judgment, no shame. We're just going to be dealing with the facts. And then we're going to look at, where do you want to go? Why is this important to you? Black woman, why do you want to be in business? What do you want besides quitting your job? Because after you quit your job, then what? What's going to motivate you to stay the course long term? And then we're going to map out the shortest path to get you there profitably. Because we don't want you quitting your job and having a boutique and then it folds up in 6 months and you got to go back to work. That would suck almost as bad as not having your business at all. What's that song, that lyric that Smokey Robinson says, a taste of honey's worse than none at all. Having a bit of freedom and then having it pulled back from you, that could be almost more devastating than never having known what freedom can be like. But freedom's available to you, but it's not going to happen just because I'm a strong Black woman. I can do it myself. No, ma'am, you can't. And that's okay. There's no shame, and no shame should be in being a knucklehead and not giving your business the best shot that you can. So let's have a conversation. If you're serious, you should be glad that somebody's willing to help you. I want to help you, but you got to get on my calendar, melaniehunter.com/chat. Be sure to fill out the application that pops up so you can get the most value out of our time. It's going to be the best 45 minutes you have ever spent building your business, because you're actually going to get the tools you need to actually do it and not just talk about it. So again, melaniehunter with 2 L's.com/chat. It's on the screen right now. Book your call. Don't just watch me on these videos, because I'm not going to know exactly what's going on in your specific business, and I can't speak to your individual needs on these training broadcasts. But when we get on that phone, when we get on your breakthrough interview to see if we're fit to work together to get you to your dreams, you're going to make light years of improvement over where you have been all these years, because you're actually going to be hearing real information, and not just information, but transformative action steps to get you where you want to go. I look forward to talking to you. I look forward to helping you reach your dreams if we're fit to work together. It's not for everybody, but for those of you who are serious and you're determined and you just been waiting for help, here I am ready to help you. So go ahead and book your call now. Hope you have a phenomenal weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.